What is going on, guys? Brad here from pickdawgz.com. Welcome to Brad's NFL Breakdown. In this video, I will be going over every single game for this Week 6 NFL slate, and I'll be giving out a pick in every single game as well. Last week, 10-3. 10-3. Come on now. I'm telling you, this is the best NFL show on the planet. I'm not playing around. We only had one losing. Week 1, losing week. Week 2, winner. Week 3, winner. Week 4, winner. Week 5, winner. We're on week 6. Come on now. I've been trying to tell y'all. Sorry for my setup. My cord for my camera is broken, so I'm using my rinky-dink webcam camera. But we're still going to break this NFL slate. My goal is to get you in and out as soon as possible. So let's get right into it. First up, we are heading across the pond. Another London game, another Europe game. We got the Denver Broncos and the New York Jets going at it. Currently, while I'm recording this, spread is Broncos laying 7.5. You know, Broncos coming off a magnificent win last week. They looked like they were down and out in that game. We were on the Broncos plus the points. I thought that one was cooked for us. They came back and they won that game outright. So shout out the Broncos there. Jets still trying to find their first win. It's been tough. It has been very tough. The problem with this Jets team has been on the defensive side of the ball. It's as simple as that. When you think of the New York Jets, you think of a hard-nosed football team that prides themselves on defense. It just hasn't been the case this season. They still have good guys on that defense too. That's what's crazy, but they just haven't been able to put it together. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. And one thing that hasn't been broken this season is taking New York Jets overs. I'm going to be on the over in this game. That's going to be my favorite play. The Broncos, don't get me wrong, their offense hasn't looked fantastic this season, but against the Jets, I do think they run it up. And then if you look at the Jets numbers, you know, they put up 22 against Dallas, 21 against Miami, 27 against Tampa Bay, 32 against Pittsburgh. They're scoring a good amount of points in these games. And the thing about the Jets is they'll go down early in these games, but then they score a lot of garbage time points. I could kind of see that being the case in this one. So I'm going to take an over. I will say I do lean Jets plus 7.5. With the Broncos coming off that big win, going across the pond in a weird game, you're going to give me 7.5 points with the Jets team still looking to find their first win. I think that's a good spot to be in as well. So give me the over in this one and give me the Jets. Next up, we are headed into Carolina where we got the Cowboys facing the Panthers. Cowboys laying 3 points in this one. Cowboys, nice bounce back win against the Jets. And then the game before that, they tied the Packers. So maybe this Cowboys team is starting to figure things out. We all know that the Cowboys, they could move the ball. They could score points. Their issue this season has been on the defensive side of the ball. I know I just made a total pick on my last pick in this video. I'm going with another total, and I'm going right back to an over. Similar to what I said about that Jets team, this Cowboys team does not play a lick of defense, and I expect the Cowboys to score. I mean, this Cowboys team could score on anyone, in my opinion. Dak Prescott is playing out of his mind. When you look at his numbers, he's really doing insane things. CeeDee Lamb might come back as well. And I just think the fact that this Cowboys team literally doesn't possess a run game at all, they're just moving the ball through the air, which is leading to a lot of points. But I think Carolina scores as well. I mean, Carolina has only played in 2 home games this season. Their first home game, they played the Atlanta Falcons, put up 30 points in that game. And then last week, they played at home against the Dolphins. They put up 27 in that game. So we know the Cowboys are going to score. And also, I think the Panthers score no problem as well. So I honestly see this game being similar to Dallas, New York last week, where the final score was 37-22. I think we might see a similar score. I do think it's going to be a little bit more competitive. I think the Panthers do have some fight with how good they've played at home this season. But overall, I just think it's going to be a high-scoring game. So I promise you guys, if you're new to these videos, I'm not going to do a total pick every single pick. Don't worry. My job is here to give you winners. And the winner in this game is going to be the over. Give me over 49.5. Next up, we are headed into South Beach. We got the Los Angeles Chargers traveling across the country into Miami to play the Dolphins. What happened to the Chargers? What happened to the Chargers? This Chargers team went from looking like one of the best teams in the NFL to one of the worst teams in the NFL in just a couple weeks. I don't know what's going on. We saw them lose that game against the Giants. In my opinion, that was like, oh, that's just a little fluky loss. It's the NFL. It happens. But then they go back home. They play a Washington team that's good. Don't get me wrong, but you lose that game 27-10 on your home field. You're favored by 3 points, and you only put up 10 points in that game. People were crowning Justin Herbert to be the next Joe Montana after week 1, week 2. And he only put up 10 points in that game. And I think the issue with this Chargers team is we know how Jim Harbaugh likes to run his teams. Run the ball down people's throats and play good defense. Their defense has been letting them down. Their offensive line has been letting them down. Now Omarion Hampton's gone. So what's the identity of this Chargers team when they're not playing good defense and they can't run the ball? It's not good. And that's why we're seeing this team lose. And now this Chargers team has to, like I said, travel all the way to Miami into the hot, humid weather. Got to get used to that time zone difference and play the Dolphins. I'm taking Miami. I'm taking the 4.5. A lot of you guys are going to think I'm crazy for this, but until the Chargers show me something, I do not want to touch this team, and I definitely don't want to lay over a field goal with this team on the road. I'm going to take the Dolphins. I'm going to take the 4.5. Next up, we are headed into Jacksonville. We got the Seahawks and the Jaguars going at it. Two teams that have been pleasant surprises to me this season. I really didn't know how Seattle was going to play. Getting Sam Darnold, who knew how he was going to look. But I thought this Seattle team has looked pretty damn good. They are coming off a loss against my Bucs. Shout out Tampa Bay. Don't hang your head on it, Seattle. Baker Mayfield and that Bucs team is really good. I'm not really hanging my head on that Seattle loss. Whereas the Jaguars, man, coming into this one 4-1 and coming off a win against the Chiefs. This Jaguars team is this close to being undefeated. They lost that game against the Bengals, which I really don't know how they lost because the Bengals are dog water. They barely lose that game. This Jaguars team is close to being 5-0. With all that being said, I'm taking the Seahawks in this one. I don't like the Jaguars coming off that big emotional win on Monday night. They're on a short week, technically just a day, but on a short week, coming off the biggest win of their season, whereas Seattle in a bounce back spot. I think this is a close and competitive game. I think this is a game that either team could win. And in that type of game, I'd rather give me some underdog odds for me personally. So I'm going to take the Seahawks. I kind of leaning over here as well. These teams have been kind of balling out on the offensive side of the ball, but I'm going to take a shot with the Seahawks. I think it's a Seahawks spot. Next up, we are headed into Pittsburgh where we got the Cleveland Browns and the Steelers going at it. Not my favorite game on the slate because on one side, it's like, how do you take the Browns? Dylan Gabriel did not look good over the pond last week against the Vikings. I just don't see much success from this Browns offense. But on the other hand, do I really want to lay 5.5 with the Steelers? I really don't, guys. You know what I'm going to do, man? AFC North matchup, Steelers-Browns. Let's just take an under. This is a game I'm going to stay away from, but I don't trust the Steelers offense against a really good Browns defense. And even though the Steelers defense has looked shaky this season in some spots, I don't trust this Browns offense, period. So I just don't see this being a good situation for either of these offenses to score points. I'm going to take an under. Next up, we are headed into Baltimore where we got the Rams and the Ravens. Oh, man, Baltimore. I mean, how do we play this game? So I'm recording this on Friday, guys. It looks like Lamar is still questionable. There is a chance that he could play in this game. He hasn't practiced all week. With the line sitting at 7.5 here, it looks like Lamar's not going to play. Kind of tough for me to make this pick not knowing if he's going to play or not. But I'm going to make this pick as if Lamar's not playing. I guess give me the Rams. This isn't going to be a game I bet, but how could you trust this Baltimore team right now? Last week they allowed 44 points to the Texans. Week before that they allowed 37 to the Chiefs. Week before that they allowed 38 to the Lions. Week 1 they allowed 41 to the Buffalo Bills. This is a bad defensive unit. They're banged up on both sides of the ball. I'm going to take the Rams minus 7.5. I don't love laying this many points on the road, but the Rams, they played last Thursday Night Football, so they've had more rest. They have a decent rest advantage coming into this game. They also took a loss in that game against San Francisco, so it's also a bounce back spot. I mean, with the way this Baltimore team is playing, the Rams should be able to score with ease, and with Cooper Rush at quarterback going against this Rams defense, I could see that being not going great for this Baltimore team. This was a Baltimore team that was so healthy last season. I think last season was their window to win it all. And I think the fact that they were so healthy last season, it's catching up to them this season. You can't stay healthy forever. And unfortunately for the Ravens, I think it's going to be a really rough season. So, guys, I'm going to lay the points with the Rams. Like I said, probably a stay away for me. I just don't love laying 7.5 with the Rams on the road here. So, that's my thoughts there. Next up, we are headed into Indianapolis, where we got this matchup between the Cardinals and the Colts. If it's not broke, don't fix it, right? If it's not broke, don't fix it. I mean, this Colts team is just firing on all cylinders. They're this close to being undefeated. If homeboy didn't drop that one touchdown before getting in against the Rams, there's a good chance this Colts team would be the last team undefeated right now. Cardinals, you could say this is a bounce back spot after it's probably going to be the most embarrassing loss of the season, what they did last week against the Titans. The fact that they didn't win that game is absolutely mind-blowing. If you had the Cardinals in your survivor pool, I'm praying for you. You're in my thoughts. That is tough. That is tough. But, guys, I think this Colts team is legit. I think this Colts team is a team that you're not going to want to fade, especially when they're playing at home. They're just clicking on all cylinders, man. Jonathan Taylor is putting up insane numbers. Danny Dimes is doing what he has to do to win games. This defense has been playing good as well. I'm on the Colts here. I'm laying the 7, and I'm not thinking twice about it. Next up, we are headed into New Orleans. We got the Patriots and the Saints going at it. Patriots laying 3.5. You might think that number is short. I think the reason why this number is short is because the Patriots are coming off the biggest win of their season, beating the Bills on primetime last Sunday Night Football. And a lot of people might be weary for taking the Patriots in this game. They might look at it as a letdown spot, but I'm not. I think this Patriots team's a good ball club. Shout out Mike Vrabel. They needed a guy like that leading the way, and I think the Patriots are going to cause a lot of people problems. This is a really good offense. I'm going to say it. This is a really good offense. Drake May is a good quarterback. It's official. It's official. Drake May is a good quarterback. You know, there was a lot of questions about Drake May. We all know he had the potential, but I'm going to say it right now. What he's shown me this season, he is a damn good quarterback, and I just think this offense is going to be too much for the Saints. 3.5, I'm so fine with laying this. I think this is a touchdown win for the Patriots. Saints, great win last week. That was my pick of the day last week against the Giants. Simple line rating there. Why were the Saints favored in that game? It's because they were going to win. Sometimes in the NFL, don't overcomplicate it. Throw everything out the window. Just look at the line, and the line typically tells you what you need to know. Honestly, I will say the line tells me to take the Saints here, but I'm not buying it, man. I'm buying stock into the Patriots. Like I said, I think this is a good team. I like Mike Vrabel, and it's official. Drake May is a good quarterback. Lay the 3.5 with New England. Next up, we are headed into Las Vegas. We are headed into Sin City, where we got the Tennessee Titans playing the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders laying 4.5 in this one. Ugh, two bad ball clubs. Shout out the Titans for picking up a win. They showed a lot of heart last week, winning that game against the Cardinals. I don't know how they did it. Yeah, insane. That game was absolutely insane. But the question is, was that a flash in the pan? Was that the Titans figuring something out? Are the Titans coming into this one with some momentum right now? Is this the Titans team that we could trust down the stretch here? I'm going to trust them in this spot. I can't lay 4.5 with the Raiders, guys. This Raiders team is bad. Free Max Crosby. Other than Max Crosby, it's a bad team. You know, we did see them pick up that week 1 win against the Patriots, but other than that, they've looked bad. And last week, they went into Indianapolis and lost 40-6. I understand Indianapolis is a good team. I'm on the Indianapolis hype train, but man, oh man, you only put up 6 points. That's really bad. So, guys, I'm going to take the Titans plus 4.5. I think it's just, I don't think the Raiders should be laying 4.5 against anyone. It's as simple as that. Probably a game I'm not going to bet, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm still not fully there to put my hard-earned money on this Titans team, but gun to my head, if I had to make a pick, I'd rather have 4.5. I truly think this game's going to be decided by a field goal. And look, man, I think the Titans they could win this game outright. So in that type of matchup, I'd rather have 4.5 in my back pocket. Next up, we are headed into Tampa Bay, where we got the Niners and the Bucs. Shout out my Bucs. I'm a Bucs fan. I'm going to try to make this pick unbiased as possible. I mean, the Niners playing great ball. No Brock Purdy, no problem. This is a team, you could throw anyone there at quarterback. If they're somewhat competent, this offense is going to run. When you got a guy, a playmaker like Saquon Barkley. When you got a playmaker like Christian McCaffrey, and you got a guy like Trent Williams protecting you, you can make things work. We saw last week, Niners picking up a huge upset win on primetime. There were 8.5-point dogs in that game. Won outright. I mean, just a great win for the Niners. But now they do have to travel across the country. to play the Bucs, who are just looking like such a damn good team, man. I didn't know how the Bucs were going to look last week against the Seahawks. They end up winning that game outright. I mean, Baker Mayfield. Shout out Baker Mayfield. I mean, this dude is on fire. Ibuka, I mean, he's already a top 10 wide receiver in my opinion. Guys, I'm on the Tampa Bay Bucs. We saw the Niners beat this Bucs team last season in Tampa Bay, I believe. Let me make sure. Yeah, it was in Tampa Bay. I think this is a good revenge spot for Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay's offense will be a bit too much for the Niners. So, do I love laying 3? It is a bit much for me to, like, will I have a wager on this game? Probably not. But Bucs laying 3, that's where I would like to be. I think this is a Bucs team that's going to be able to win us some money this season. So, I'm going to take the Bucs. Next up, we are headed into Green Bay, where we got this matchup between the Bengals and the Packers going at it. Bengals. While I'm recording this, it looks like Green Bay's laying 14 points. I'm going to lay it. I'm going to take the Packers in this one. You know, I know the Bengals are rolling with Joe Flacco now. I don't really think that's going to be their saving grace. He's been with the team for a week, week and a half? Like, how much of this offense has Joe Flacco? How much of this offense can Joe Flacco pick up in a week to actually be effective? Especially behind that terrible O-line. Also, on the other hand, we all know the Bengals defense is one of the worst defenses in the league. I think a lot of people are starting to sell their stock on Green Bay. A lot of people were talking about Green Bay penciled in to win the Super Bowl after week 1, beating the Lions, after week 2, beating the Commanders. Then they lost to the Browns. They tied with the Cowboys. I think a lot of people are starting to sell their stock on the Packers. I'm going to rebuy into them. I think they blow this Bengals team out. Also, the Packers are coming off a bye. They're going to be ready to go in this one. And unfortunately for Joe Flacco, man, he is. I think it's going to be a tough time for him. Yes, you could have Jamar Chase, you could have T. Higgins, you could have all these great weapons, but if you don't have an O-line protecting you, you can only do so much. So, guys, I'm going to take the Packers. I lean towards an over as well. I do think we see some points in this game, but give me the Pack. Next up, we are headed into Arrowhead, where we got this matchup between the Lions and the Chiefs. Game of the week, in my opinion. We got a heavyweight battle here, and yeah, this is going to be a good one. Man, the Chiefs have played a gauntlet of a schedule so far this season. Chargers, Eagles, Ravens, prime time against the Jaguars. It's been a really tough road, and now they got the Lions coming in town. So, I'm not loving the Chiefs in this spot, to be perfectly honest with you. It looks like Xavier Worthy may not play in this game. We saw how much his offense took a hit when he didn't play, weeks 1 through, 4, I think, something like that. I still don't love the Chiefs offense. I really don't. And I think that dual threat of Amon-Ra and Jameson Williams, and I think that dual threat of Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery are going to give this Chiefs defense a tough task. And I like how this Lions team is looking right now. You know, the Lions took that week 1 loss against the Packers. Ever since then, they've rattled off 4 straight wins. They've put up 34 or more points in each of those 4 games, and they've also covered in 4 straight games as well. I think the Lions win this game outright. I'm going to play it safe and take 2.5, but I don't get this spread. I just think it's a Chiefs tax at home. I think it's a Patrick Mahomes tax. I think a lot of squares and a lot of public bettors are going to think, ooh, Chiefs at home, Patty Mahomes. Let's lay the 2.5. No. Let's look at these teams side by side. The Lions are the better team in my opinion. There's no question about it. Taking the Lions, take them on the money line, take them to 2.5. The Lions are winning this game. Next up, we are headed into Atlanta, where we got the Buffalo Bills and the Falcons going at it. Bills coming off their first loss of the season against the Patriots. My pick of the day on Monday night was the Patriots. It was plus the 8 points. I did not think the Patriots were going to win that game, but hell of a performance for the Patriots. And now the Bills got to travel into Atlanta and play this Falcons team who's coming off a bye, who's also coming off a big win against the Commanders. I think this is a spot we got to take the Falcons. You know, would I be surprised if the Bills win this game? Would I be surprised if the Bills cover this game? No, but in the NFL, you got to pick and choose your spots. And Falcons on prime time, this is a massive game for them at home where they played their best ball this season. You're going to give me 4.5 with them. I'm taking the Falcons. I'm taking the points here, guys. It needs to be done. So we are headed into the last game of the night. We got the Chicago Bears and the Commanders going at it. Interesting matchup here. You know, Commanders laying 4.5. This is a rematch of a wild game from last season. If you guys don't remember, the Bears were up late in that game. Commanders had one last shot. They had a Hail Mary to win that game. They throw the Hail Mary. It's successful. The Bears lose. One of the wildest finishes I've ever seen in an NFL game. The question is, do the Bears get their revenge? The question is, do the Bears roll into this one with a bit of a chip on their shoulder after that embarrassing loss last season? And the evaluation from me is, yes, they do. I think the Bears cover this game, and I think they're live in this game. The Bears, similar to, who was the last game we covered? Sorry, I got to check. There we go, Falcons. Similar to the Falcons, coming off a couple wins, coming off back-to-back wins, and also, most importantly, they are coming off a bye week. They've had time to rest up, get healthy, and most importantly, they've had time to prepare for this Commanders team, a Commanders team that just picked up a big win on the road across the country last week. Now they're rolling in back home. I think Ben Johnson's starting to figure out this offense, and I think the fact that this team's rolling into this one finally with some positive momentum, I think they keep this one close. I think this one's going to be competitive, and you're going to give me 4.5 points with the Bears coming off a bye in a revenge spot. I'm going to take it. So I'm going to take the Chicago Bears. And that is going to do it, guys. Week 6 is in the books. I appreciate you watching this, man. Let's have another big week. Like I said, I like to get you guys in and out. I don't really go over all these crazy stats like some of these other shows go over. That shit's already baked into the line. I pick my games off spots, situations, and what I know and what I trust from these teams. So I'm about to have another winning week. I hope you guys ride with me. If you want my best bets, including my $25 play of the day, that will be found at Pick Dawgz Premium, or you can click the link in the description of this video, say Brad's best picks. And yeah, we're going to cash in on this Sunday. Next NFL video, I'll have my camera set up. And yeah, that's going to do it, man. Appreciate you guys watching this. I'll catch you on the next one.